Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. My name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Up. If this is your first time of stopping by, you're welcome to the family. Kindly hit that subscribe button there, up there, and turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Now, if you're returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really appreciate you guys. So guys, in today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to make a singlet. It's a sleeveless top, so it's a very simple one. So all you need for this project is your fabric. Make sure that your fabric is stretchy. Look at it, very stretchy. Then I need my pattern paper, my ruler, my ruler, scissors, French curve, tape measure, and my marker. So the reason I'm going to be drafting on the pattern paper first is that the fabric, by the time I'm using my chalk on it, is not that obvious. I guess you can't see anything here, so that's the reason I'm drafting first on my pattern paper, then I'll transfer it to my fabric. But if your fabric can do that, if you can use your chalk on your fabric, why not go ahead and draft directly on your fabric. So let's move to the cutting of this singlet. The first thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be marking, this is my starting line here. The length I'm working with is 24 inches. I'm going to be adding 1 inch for the hem allowance and the joining allowance at the shoulder. So that is 25 all together. So I'm just going to be marking 25 from this starting point here all the way. So I'm just going to be marking it in 3 different places, so that by the time I connect my points together, it's going to give me a very straight line. So this is me just trying to mark 25 across this pattern paper. I'm just going to grab my ruler and connect this into a straight line. I hope that is clear. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark my half length, which is 16 inches. So you measure your half length and mark your half length out. So this is 16 inches, just like I did for the length. I'm going to repeat the same thing to this part so that I'll be able to have a straight line. I hope that is clear. So I'm connecting my lines here into a straight line. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'll come to this line and mark my shoulder measurement. I'm working with the shoulder of 14 inches. So 14 divided by 2 is 7 inches, like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark the armhole. I'm just going to be marking 9 inches for the armhole. So I'm actually marking 8 inches. Remember, I'm going to be slanting my shoulder by 1 inch. If you subtract 1 inch from 9, you're going to be having 8 inches. I hope that is clear. So I'm just going to connect this also into a straight line like that. So I come here and mark 7 inches that I mark at the shoulder. The reason I'm marking this is that I want to make this into a straight line. So I'm just marking my 7 inches. I'll grab my ruler and connect this into a straight line. Okay, so after connecting into a straight line, I'll take my ruler and look for the midpoint. So remember, I'm using 1 inch for the shoulder slope. So I'm looking for the midpoint of 8, not 9. So that is 4 inches. So I'm just going to be grabbing my French curve and connecting this like this. This is the armhole here. So moving to the bust measurement, I'm using the bust of 37 inches. So 37 divided by 4 is 9.25. So because the fabric is very stretchy, I'm going to be subtracting 1 inch from it. So if your fabric is not stretchy, you can use the exact measurement of your bust, then you add your seam allowance. But because my fabric is very stretchy, I'm not going to be adding any seam allowance, and I'm also going to be subtracting 1 inch from it so that it will be very fitted. So I'm just going to be marking 8.25 instead of 9.25. Hope that is clear. So after marking the bust measurement, whatever you have on your bust measurement, you subtract 1 inch from it, because you're not going to be taking your accurate waist measurement because it's a singlet. So here I have 8.25, so I'm going to be marking 7.25 here. So the hip I'm also working with is 37 inches, so divided by 4 is 9.25. Remember I said I'm going to be subtracting 1 inch from it, so that is 8.25 also. So if your bust and your hip is the same thing, it means that whatever you mark here will be what you're going to be marking at the M line. I hope that is clear. So I'm just going to be connecting my lines from this bust to the hip. So I'm working with a neckline of 3.5 inches, so by 6 inches. So this is it. Like this. So this is it for the front neckline. So now for the armhole, for the shoulder, sorry, I'm going to be using just 1 inch, because if you look at this, if you look at singlet very well, the let's say the shoulder is not always wide, so I'm just going to be taking 1 inch out of this. So I think all we have here is 3.5 inches, so I'm going to be subtracting 2.5, sorry, from it. So I'm going to be left with 1 inch. That's what I'm going to be needing here. So I'm just going to be connecting this into a straight line like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. So to meet up with this line here, hope you can see what I'm doing. So after that, I will be connecting this line to meet with this path. So with my French curve, I'm just going to be looking for the midpoint here. I'm just going to be taking my shoulder slope first, 1 inch. So I'll connect it like this to this path, like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'll look for the midpoint, which is 4 inches from this path, like this. This is it. So I'm just going to be connecting this path to this path. So this is how it's going to be looking like this. So this is our new armhole. I hope you understand what I just did. So I'm just going to be cutting this off and cut all this part out and cut the neckline. Then I'll come back and show you. So moving to the drafting of the back pattern, I already draw out my lines. This is the starting line. This is my waistline, which is the half length, and this is the M line. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark my, like I did for the front panel, I'm going to be marking my shoulder, which is my back measurement, 7 inches, 14 divided by 2. So I'm going to be coming down by 9 inches. It is 8 inches, but plus the 1 inch for shoulder slope, that's 9 inches. So I'm just going to mark the 9 inches here. Hope you can see my lines. And I'm going to be drawing this into a straight line, connecting these points together like this. Hope you can see my lines. Okay, let me use my blue marker. Okay, after marking that, I'll come here and also mark the 7 inches I have here at the back, just to connect this into a straight line to this part, 7 inches. Hope you get, and connect this into a straight line. Sorry, let me put my scissors here too. Okay, I'm just connecting this into a straight line. Okay, moving to looking for the midpoint of the 8. Remember, I'm going to be using 1 inch for the shoulder slope, so this is 4 inches here. So I'm grabbing my French curve first, and I'm going to be connecting it here like this. So now remember, I took 8.25 at the back, bust divided by 4 minus 1 inch, because the fabric is stretching. So I take 8.25 here, I take 7.25, because I subtracted 1 inch from whatever I have at the bust line, and I come here, I also take 8.25 because my hip divided by 4 minus 1 inch. Hope that is clear. So I also connect like I did for the front. So now moving to the neckline. For the back, I'm going to be using the neckline of 3.5 inches by 1 inch. So I'm just coming down by 1 inch. So this is it. So I'm just going to be connecting this first. Sorry, my markers are just okay. So this is me just connecting it, and I'll use my French curve to connect this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing here, remember for the front, sorry, I took just 1 inch from this part as my shoulder. So I'm just going to be marking 1 inch from this point like this. Okay, so after marking 1 inch, so I go down by, okay, let me just connect this line first into a straight line like this. So connect. Friends, I discovered we lost a clip, so I decided to come and do it again. So after drawing this straight line to meet up with this first chest line, which is the armhole line, then I come down. Remember I said it's 1 inch that we have here, so I come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, which is this 1 inch like this, and I draw my shoulder slope, which is this one. So the midpoint, which is 4 inches from here to here, which is 4 inches, I come to the midpoint. This is the midpoint, and I marked 2.5 inches from the midpoint. This is on fold. From this part, I marked 2.5 inches like this. So I connect my armhole line. This is the shoulder. So instead of connecting it on the normal armhole, I come like this, and I connected it like this to meet up with this armhole. I hope that is clear. So from this 1 inch here, I connect it like this, and I met up with this. I had to meet up with this armhole here. Hope that is clear. So I decided to just cut it out and follow it like this and cut it out. So this is our back panel. I'm just going to open it up for you to see. This is the back panel, and this is the front panel. Hope you can see separately. Front, let's label it front, and this is the back. So I'm just going to be cutting this out I'll cut it out on my fabric. Then I'm going to be cutting probably 1 inch for the hemming allowance I'm going to be using to hem the neckline and the armhole. So after that, we're going to be moving to the sewing of the singlet. So friends, I've already cut out this is the front panel. This is the material. This is the back. And these are the bias strip that I'm going to be using to hem the neckline and the armhole. Now moving to the sewing of the singlet, the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be joining shoulder to shoulder. I'll place the right side of the fabric, the right side of the back, the right side of the front, and I'm going to be joining the shoulders together. This is what I'm saying. This is what I mean by that. This is the back, and this is the front, right side facing right side. So I'm going to be joining this part together, and I'll do the same thing to this part, and I'll come back and show you the next thing. Okay friends, I've joined the shoulders together, front and back together. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be folding my bias strip like this, half inch inward, half inch inward. I'll fold another half inch, then I'll fold it this way. Hope you can see it. So I'm just going to be using it to pipe this neckline like this. So I'm going to be pinning it like this all the way till I get to, hope you can see what I'm doing, like this. So by the time I'm done doing it all the way, I'm going to be stitching it all the way, and I'll repeat the same process to the armhole. So I'll come back and show you the netting I'm going to do. Friends, I've piped the neckline and the armhole. Hope you can see. And I did double stitch. I stitched it twice. It is a black thread. I don't know if you can see it. Double for both the armhole and the neckline. So the next thing I'm going to do is to hem the bottom by 1/2 inch like this, and I'll hem the other side. Then I'll join the side together like this with the allowance that I left 1 inch, and I'll come and show you the final look of this singlet. So friends, this is the final look of our singlet. It's looking so beautiful and lovely. So maybe I should turn the back so you can see the back view. It's looking so beautiful. I love this clothes because the outcome is so beautiful. I'm so excited because it came out very nice. So guys, if this tutorial has been helpful to you, please subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever we upload new videos. My name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Up. Don't stop learning, keep learning. This is me signing out. Bye bye.